I felt at the time, right when I saw it, whether or not it was a penalty, that he was going to be suspended. And then the fact that the guy was injured, even though that's not supposed to factor into the equation. When it happens in the NFL, when it happens in the NBA, when it happens in other sports, I'm sorry, subliminally or subconsciously, the people that are making decisions see a guy who's out for the series, right? The guy that's got the broken jaw.
Oh, he's done for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, he's done until
He's
next
got a
year.
broken jaw. He's got a concussion. They see that.
Well,
and
they said it factored in.
That factors
they
in.
said it did. They
Yeah.
said there were two mitigating factors.
You know what else he
severity
could have
of it,
done?
yeah.
You know what else he could have? He could have gotten out of the way. Because if you look at the replays, he clearly didn't make one move to get out of Tom Wilson's way.
Well, hold on.
He did not try to avoid the contact whatsoever.
I mean, you're making me defend Pittsburgh Penguins players. You saw replays in slow-mo.
Yes.
Right, at full speed, you can't get out of the way of that.
Okay.
He's on skates.
He made no effort whatsoever to avoid the contact.
Now it's the Pens players' fault.
Part of it's on him.
Oh.
It's not part of your responsibility when you're playing to protect yourself.
I'm just saying there's not enough time to protect yourself.
Sure there is.
If I punch you in the face as part of the responsibility
Yeah,
of
if I just go up and cheap shot you.
Part of my responsibility is to protect myself.
That sounds
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
If I see you about to punch me in the face, I'm not just going to keep my hands down by my side. I'm going to make some sort of move.
Sometimes you can't
either
react.
get out of your way
Of course you can't
or
react.
avoid the punch.
It's a
Part
preposterous
of it is
statement.
part of it is on Aston Green.
It's asinine that he's saying that.
He has to be responsible for his own safety on the ice.
Right.
And that is not coming from me being a full-on Caps mark.
I'm just not going to take, my whole thing is I'm not going to take on this woe is me Caps fan attitude today. I refuse to do it. When I heard it, it bummed me out, but I said, that's all right. They could still win the series.
If it was Ovi, I think woe is me. It's Tom Wilson. He's not the MVP of the team. He's a good player.
Very
and
good
he's
player.
been a big part of their
Big
wins.
part of the team. They're better with him.
I mean,
but they can
he's
still
created
win.
What's his plus minus? I want to know his plus minus. Where does he rank in plus
Well,
minus?
people's plus minuses sometimes are not that impressive.
Well, stats don't lie. Let me see what they are.
I think that stat can be misleading.
I'm just saying he's good. I think
You could be on a tail end of a shift and
I
get
think he's
screwed
better.
one way or the
I
other.
think he's better than just a fine player.
He's a fine
I think
player.
he's important.
He's a critical part of the team. But
And
you
again,
still
it's
win
one
them.
thing if you only lose him for one, but to lose him for three,
You know,
that could be
critical?
massive.
Carson Wentz. He was critical, and the Eagles won a Super Bowl without him. You can overcome these
Well,
things.
obviously their team was better than
We have a good
what we
team.
thought they were.
We have a good team. We can
But it's
overcome.
part of
We
the
can
playoffs.
overcome
Look,
it.
part of the playoffs in physical sports, whether it's the NFL or the NHL, is you're going to lose some guys along the way. And this is a 3-game suspension. We just saw the Penguins without a couple of their guys in games 1 and 2. Malkin came back in game 3. You have to be deep enough to overcome these setbacks. Burakovsky's been out. Who knows if he'll ever come back?
Let's see what the trickle down is for the 3 games and whatever
Gersic.
or whoever it is. Let's see what the trickle down is.
Well, I think the big thing is who steps up into that first line, whether it's TJ Oshie or Smith Pelly. I think those guys are more than capable.
Yeah, they are. And they're going to have to dig a little deeper. And I think it might take away a little subconscious letting off the gas that sometimes occurs because you feel like, oh, we got our game. We're good here. We're free rolling here. No. You got to pedal the metal. Everyone has to step up. We're not at full strength here. We got to dig deeper than we ever have before, and I think it could work in their favor.
Let's go to the phones. 800-636-1067. You can call us on the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Listener Lines Open Line Thursday. Your chance to steer the show.
Let's go to Kevin Woodbridge. Kevin, what's up? You're on with the Junks.
Hey, good morning, guys. So I don't know if you remember last week, right before the Wednesday before the first game, I called in. I'm a Pens fan, and I said Caps in 6 this year because I just thought Pittsburgh couldn't mentally focus, and they had too many injuries. And, part of that discussion was it was about the first couple minutes, the last couple minutes of the series, and if you see where Caps are scoring a lot of goals, that's where it's happening. As far as the injuries and what's going on with Wilson, I still think the Caps win in 6, even with Wilson out, unless Pittsburgh gets Hagelin back. People don't realize how important Hagelin is. It's going to be a huge impact to the Caps not having Wilson because I can't stand Wilson. I think he's a goon, but he's got a lot more quality to his play than just being a headhunter, which he absolutely is. And the reason that he got 3 games instead of just 1 or 2 is it's cumulative. You got the play earlier in the year. You got the play earlier in the season playoffs against Columbus. And then you got back-to-back games with the Penguin player. And on this one, the way the NHL looks at it when they do the review is if they have any question at all whether the shoulder or the head was impacted first, they go to the injury. And there's no way that you can start the impact at the shoulder and hit a guy in the jaw and still crush his jaw like that. The jaw has to be the initial impact. And that's why the NHL went with 3 games. And it's partially because they're trying to settle the series down before they get somebody even more seriously hurt than what happened to Ashton Reese. That'd be like, and I don't think it matters for either team this year. And I said this last week because I think whoever comes out of the Boston-Tampa series is healthy enough and has so much speed right now. Neither the Caps or the Pens are moving on because there's something wrong with Kessel, too. You can tell he just doesn't have the step that he had even the last series. I don't know if he pulled a groin or what.
Thank you, Kevin.
That'll be a buzzkill if we beat the Penguins and then we just run into a buzzsaw in whoever.
Right, either Bruins
Boston
or the Lightning.
Yeah, that'll suck.
I believe Tampa is up 2-1.
2-1,
Yeah,
yep.
because they won. Didn't they win
Last night.
Yeah, they won last night.
I'm kind of thinking I'll be honest with you. This is what I'm subconsciously sort of thinking is that if they get through the Penguins, they're going to burst through this whole wall thing, and they're going to just do it.
You think they're going to win the Stanley Cup if
they
beat
beat
the
the
Pens?
Penguins, I feel like they're just going to explode through.